At the end of February, Jimmy Kimmel hosted the 2017 Oscars. As a late-night TV host and a comedian, he had many bits to get laughter from the audience. One of those bits was getting random people from a Hollywood tour bus and surprising them by inviting them to the Oscars. Jimmy welcomed the strangers into a room filled with countless A-list celebrities at an extremely private event. The strangers walked front row of the award show, where major celebrities like Denzel Washington, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, and even Meryl Streep sat. What struck me as odd about this appearance was that nearly all of the guests had their phone out and in their faces. Some even had selfie sticks, making sure to get footage of the surreal moment. After watching these people stick their phones and cameras in the privacy of hardworking actors and actresses instead of living this special moment in real time, I couldn't help but think, do we, as the human race, rely on our cell phones a little too much? Mobile phones are one of the best inventions in the world to date. They house our private information and give us access to the internet at our fingertips. These little gadgets that never leave our side have become a staple to the human race. In 2017, it's weird not to have a cell phone. I myself am more than guilty to over-relying on my cell phone in my daily life. And I know I'm not alone in abusing this technology.
Yeah, I use it a lot. I tried to stop using it by deleting my Twitter, but I always use Instagram and Snapchat, and I always want to go on my phone to look things up, especially during school, which isn't good.
I do, especially since I have Netflix, so whenever I'm just bored, I'll just watch Grey's Anatomy on my phone and cry.
Yes, I go on a variety of apps, like a bunch of social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Visco, Pinterest, and then I like to play a lot of games like Word Cookie, this game called Flip, and yeah.
Leading the race in cell phones is the ever-famous iPhone. Of all smartphone users, 43.5% are iPhones. The other 56.5% is a mixture of different Samsung and Sony cell phones. Among the younger generation, iPhones are most prominent.
I have an iPhone.
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
An iPhone. An iPhone.
An
iPhone.
iPhone. An iPhone.
In everyday life, it's very rare to not see people either with or on their cell phone. A study has discovered that the average person checks their device 85 times a day, spending a total of 5 hours browsing the web and using apps. This equates to around a third of the time a person is awake, and is twice as often as many people even realize. Some see this as unhealthy or antisocial. Others think we are just taking advantage of the advanced technology.
It's like a double-edged sword. Sometimes people are actually physically and emotionally obsessed with their phone and they cannot let it go, which I think is beyond the point of necessary, but at the same time, cell phones have so many different uses and they come in handy a lot, so I think it works both ways.
Probably a little bit of both. There's definitely some studies out there that I believe in that you can get addicted to your cell phone. It releases dopamine similar to other drugs. When you see the smiley face or the Snapchat reply, and you get a good feeling from that, and that releases dopamine. So you can physically get addicted to your cell phone. With that said, right, it probably has made us more productive also, though. Checking emails more efficiently, sending responses more efficiently. So there's got to be a balance somewhere.
I think it's unhealthy, especially it's hard once you're texting all the time to stay focused, because all you want to do is go on your phone when you're in school and stuff, and when you're trying to talk to someone, all you really want to do is go back to your phone.
Mobile phones emit radio frequency energy, which can be absorbed by the tissues. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classified mobile phone radiation possibly carcinogenic. Additional research into the long-term, heavy use of mobile phones needs to be conducted. While an increased risk of brain tumors from the use of mobile phones is not established, the increasing use of mobile phones and the lack of data for mobile phone use over time periods longer than 15 years warrant further research of mobile phone use and brain cancer risk. People have different reactions to this research.
I definitely think it is probably true, because the amount of radiation and stuff that comes off of it is probably more dangerous than we think, but I think there should be more research into it just to figure out more information.
I feel like it's very accurate. I've read many stories on it, but it still hasn't stopped me from sleeping with my phone. right next to my head, on my pillow, so hopefully I don't get brain cancer.
I don't believe it because honestly, I think that people would be more worried about it.
Having the internet in the palm of our hands is something the human race has grown used to and even takes for granted. Not to mention being able to contact anyone you please whenever you want, despite your location. While cellular phones are a great invention, have we become too adjusted to this technological advancement? There's too little research to tell if there's permanent health risks to cell phone abuse. However, as the years come, hopefully we will know more about this possible carcinogen. Steven Spielberg once said, "Technology can be our best friend, and technology can also be the biggest party pooper of our lives. It interrupts our own story, interrupts our ability to have a thought or a daydream, to imagine something wonderful because we're too busy bridging the walk from the cafeteria back to the office on the cell phone. Perhaps in the future we could take our time to absorb the surreal moments in real time and look up from the pixels in our back pocket." This is Karli Griggs reporting from Monthly Rewind, Season 21.